All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast that never ends, Arena of Ideas. Hello, I'm your host, of course, host and creator, Mike Kingston of the podcast. Oh, man, it feels good to be back in this chair again, all over again, and doing more and more things to get whatever's out there that matters to you. Because this is all about you. It's all about everyone else out there and what you guys want out there. I have a wonderful topic of discussion for this 52nd episode. Episode 52, The Pitfalls and Passion of Parenting, Grandparenting for the First Time. That's the episode. I got some people to give thanks to, again, because there's ways in which to get at me. Michael Kingston, 723 at Yahoo. You've got my phone number, which is, of course, in the information part. When you're looking at the podcast, there are 29 ways now to listen to the podcast. So now it's however and wherever you can listen to a podcast. By all means, join in this wonderful experience known as this podcast. You can sit there and follow, subscribe, hit notifications or thumbs up or however you do it, whatever way you do it, however you listen in those 29 platforms to listen now. By all means, please join right in. All right. So again, episode 52, The Pitfalls and Passion of Parenting, Grandparenting for the First Time. Everyone's got to be there first time. Well, first of all, you're here, so you could have been that first kid, right? But I want to give some props and some shout outs to three people or three different groups that had ideas about getting this episode out. Starting with Candy. Candy is from Pueblo. She knows who she is. And thanks to her, thanks to Jared and Jackie, they're also from Pueblo, Colorado. And then I have Brian from Colorado Springs. They all know who they are, and they all are I'm in much appreciation and admiration for them because they're the reasons why we're doing this podcast episode. I want to thank them and thank all of you out there listening. All right. So we're going to dive right into this. Oh, I'm going to run the disclaimer real quick. I have to run this disclaimer because this is the way in which to CYA cover your backside. Okay. So all right, so the views and opinions expressed in this and all Arena of Ideas podcast episodes are that of the host and guests, not to be taken out of context or misrepresented by any means. Basically, CYA, you got to, anything that could be said, connotated or otherwise, somebody else wants to get at you. Again, going back to my episode on censorship and the cancel culture, if they can find a way to, open up that door just a little bit, they're going to kick the door in when it comes to, silencing, squelching, and controlling things. Well, this is a way in which to keep this thing light, airy, and also freedom of speech type stuff in the First Amendment, of course. All right. So again, the episode is Pitfalls and Passion of Parenting and Grandparenting for the First Time. Jackie, Jared, Brian, and Candy, again, thank you so very much. And they exercise their ideas on wanting this out there. Well, like I said, I'm the host and it's your podcast and I'm the host of this. It's your podcast and I'm the host and creator of it. There we go. Tongue tied a little bit. Sorry about that. All right. So, you're never prepared for the unexpected while expecting. Today, there is advanced technology in every YouTube video and advice, AI, family, traditions, so on and so forth, that all seem to pop up. And everyone that says they're going to be expecting and they're going to be having their first kid, or they're the grandparent of their first kid or something else, everyone has got advice on this. Everyone is willing to drive that bus, basically, when it comes to the ideas and things on this. Everyone goes through it and has their different views and opinions on this. It's a very hot button topic, and basically we can all get caught in the wash on this. And then, like I said, people have got ideas and some work and some don't and everything else. And that's why it's the pitfalls and passion of it. For those of you out there listening that haven't experienced this opportunity, in other than just being the one born, well, it's an amazing experience. You don't think much about it. There's a couple movies out there, 9 months, and a couple other things that are out there that you can watch movies and stuff on to get the feeling of it. But in real time, in the real world that we all go through, it's an interesting, very passionate experience. And you know that it's going to be coming, the baby's coming and everything else. But once you receive that, once the kid is then, born, and then you get the opportunity to hold your own child, it's a very life-changing experience for all of us, because a lot of people get scared. Maybe they're tentative. Maybe some people are excited and happy about the experience of it all. You never know. Some people are that way about everything. Some love it. Some are scared of it. They're concerned, or they're just not sure about it, right? So again, that's why we're doing this episode. Again, Candy, Brian from the Springs, and Jackie and Jared, thanks again. All right. So anyway, again, like I said, there's people out there that always have a remedy to everything, a fix for everything, a way in which to get over things. Some are holistic and home remedies for all things. Sometimes it's great advice. Maybe not. You never know. But all you can do is just, when you have kids and when parents and grandparents are experiencing and going through things, it's, experience. It's the long game. It's, as you go along in life, you can kind of figure it out. But at first, you're not really sure how to approach that. Nobody is. All right. So anyway, there's always that friend or family member who has the greatest secret remedy and way to solve the riddle of childbirth. From some psychologist who sold 1 million copies of his birthing book, Dr. Spock or something else, there's all these different remedies and different ideas, and people have different things that they want to discuss about something, right? Always. All right. So anyway, like I said, there's people that have there's books out there on this, and there's advice on this, and there's advice columns, and everyone has, can put their 2 cents in basically about anything and everything. It's the truth. And that's also why I kind of do the podcast, tongue in cheek, so to speak. But anyway, that's it. That's the truth about it. All right. So, and the other approach is perhaps because every person's born into this world, right? We're all born, so we should have some say so when it comes to it. Again, we went through the process, and we're so young, we don't really know, but it's, everybody else that can put that in a time capsule and kind of have us all there, right? Exactly. So basically, every person's born into this world, so ex facto, everyone is qualified to give the backseat driver type approach, kind of metaphorically, right? And have the best answer, since they invented, metaphorically, the bread slicing machine, or some parenting magazine throwing out this sunshine and lollipops way is going to be is going to get the mother to be the answer. Because, like I said, everyone has columns and different articles, and there's parenting magazines and websites, and I always mention mags and stuff, but websites, and there's apps for that. I'm sure there's an app for childbirth or whatever else, or the 10-step process, or who knows. And there's different ways in which to do all this. But anyway, parents and grandparents for the first time, you're not really sure how to react, what to go through, and everything else, and you're just hoping for a healthy kid. You want a healthy child when the whole thing begins, because they have these gender reveals and all this sort of stuff they do, and they prepare for all these things. But ultimately, what's important here, again, every episode's an awareness exercise on whatever the topic is. But hey, it's the important thing is that we are sitting here, and what's important is that it's a healthy child. That's what I look at. watching social media posts, videos, memes, blogs, and anyone willing to put in their 2 cents and story and or the cause. Like all my episodes, I take the ideas and topics from everyone else. It's your podcast. I'm the host creator of it, right? So thank you, Candy, Brian, and Jackie and Jared, also from Pueblo, for this important and lighthearted look at how we all get our start in life from the topic of those first times, parents and grandparents. They're in the trenches and the front lines in life, making sure life is happening and the children are along for the ride. To a degree, besides being born, raising my 3 boys, and now a first-time grandparent myself. I've got 2 grandchildren. One's Luca and one's Apollo. 2 very curious and very wonderful boys. One's 3, are going to be 3, and one's going to be 1. So it's a very exciting, challenging moment for myself too. Again, this has been very interesting and, very, eyes wide open experience, if you ask me. Anyway, so yes, again, thanks to all them for inspiring this episode. In episode 49, Behind the Mirror, The Secret Life of Twins and Multiples, thanks to Lexi and Haley, twins and the inspiration behind the episode, I explore to some degree birth of children. I'm not calling myself a doctor or anything else like that, or a guru or anything, or even an expert in this matter. That answer is a resounding no. I'm just me, host of a podcast and participant of going through this experience as well. Myself, also having kids of my own, and Daniel, Dylan, and Elijah. Those are my 3 sons. As well, here's some good sources of information for parents and grandparents to help answer questions, right? So I always like to give out phone numbers, websites, and different things when it comes and is pertinent to an episode, whatever might be going on. Depression, anxiety, being bullied, or whatever else is happening. It's important to have this information because people may not know. All right, so anyway, pathways.org is a trusted resource for expecting and new parents, provide milestones supported by American Academy of Pediatrics, helping track their baby's development from birth. Recommended sites to help track shop tips, and beyond to help lessen the anxiety level, help the anxiety level by a few degrees, possibly. Maybe if you're tenuous, you're not sure what to do, you're anxious, and all these other things that are going on while this whole process of the 9 months and so on, or whatever the time might be, is happening. This is a way in which to help alleviate that and help you. All right. So anyway, what to expect: mother to baby, evidence-based birth, baby center, pulling curls. I don't know what that means, but note, the 2 most popular birth months, according to the Center for Disease Control, CDC, is August and September. Those are the 2 biggest months that they have children in, right? Note, a good website for parents and grandparents is also called The Bump, BUMP. Careers, covers pregnancy, baby names, product reviews, registry, parents, baby and toddler, and more. The hotline is 1-800-632-8188. Parents Helping Parents. That's another place in which to go to. So the Bump's a good place to go. Pathways.org is a place to go. 1-800-632-8188. Parents Helping Parents. When you're not sure in a situation, you don't have, let's say you're out there and you don't have a big family and a whole lot of people as a source for friends and things and resources to go out there and do all this, right? You're out kind of stranded out there on an island. You're doing all this for the first time, going through everything, and you don't have a support group out there, such as i.e. your friends and family and things like that. And all those things, basically what I'm saying is when you need your sanity and help with someone to talk to, because again, you might be out there on your own. Okay, so I have another phone number here for you. 1-877-427-2736, National Parent and Youth Helpline. Also website by adding .org to it. All right. You can also text as well to that. Again, National Parent and Youth Hotline. Youth Helpline, excuse me. All right. There's also Huggies.com, diaper size calculators, tips on necessary day-to-day things that happen. Look it up. There covers all situations dealing with babies and beyond. Dealing with babies and beyond. All right. Again, The Bump. That's another, like I said, that's a place that's got information and stuff there. They've covered 10 ideas for grandparents to use, and to help out. Again, because when you're the parent, you're dealing with the actual situation. You're in the moment, in the trenches, and all these things. When you're dealing with the children, well, the grandparents, they've lived that life. They've gone through all those things. They have that wealth of knowledge and experience. The only thing is they got to remember that you're the grandparents. Now you're the support group. You're those extra helpers and people that can be there for babysitting and for important matters when it comes to the situation dealing with the new children. The first time, for the first time, the parents and also the grandparents helping, being a part of the solution, not the problem, right? Exactly. So basically, these are 10 ideas for grandparents to use to help out. Lean into a yes mentality to help where you can. Banish passive-aggressive comments. Don't be negative. Don't use sarcasm. Don't start using backbiting things and all these other things that, because you're just kind of trying to be funny or trying to be the comedian or you're on the stage there, right? You just try to be, again, you're the support group. You're there to be a good, big part of what's going on. All right. Skip the comparisons, right? This other baby you had was like this, or this other baby, you were this size or you were that, no comparisons. Because again, appreciate the child that you're dealing with right now, presently. School yourself. Learn new ways from when you parented, right? Because like I said, when you went through all this process a long time ago, that was a different process, a different time, everything else. They used to have cloth diapers. Now they have, disposable diapers and all these other ways in which to do this. Just remember that a long time ago for you, it was going through that whole process. Well, now things are different. Some techniques and things have changed. So be willing to learn to step in and to get as much information as you can to help be a part of the situation. Dealing with your first. Don't spoil to win affection. Who doesn't? Putting a Band-Aid on things by going out and buying, and a lot of people will throw money at problems and situations. This isn't any different from anything else, really. It does happen, and I've been a part of that, and I've done that, and that's everybody. I have this life. I want to do the most I can do to try and help. I really do. Okay, communicate early and often. Be be a part of the support group, talking and discussing things on once the baby is born. How are we going to do things? A good process, a good system, and a good way in which to support. Give them space, but be helpful, right? You want to step back and you want to be, when they call on you, you got to be, be there to answer, be there on the ready. All right, don't dole out unsolicited advice. Just kind of like I said, keep it light and airy. And also, if they ask you something, if they ask you for something, they're wanting to look to you for strength in the situation, lend to it. Keep shopping urges in check. It's kind of like the same thing as don't spoil to win affection. They kind of tie in together. All right, respect health concerns. Graciously blessed sight, even with great advice, going through first time, trying to figure out things, and going through first time, trying to figure out things that can happen and reacting to them when they do. Sometimes life imitates art and the movies and becomes frightening, sometimes and crazy, and laugh out loud moments after the fact. Because you can look at stuff and say, well, all this stuff happened, we can look at it and laugh now. But in the moment, it could be scary, frightening. You could be riddled with anxiety. Who knows? But just know this, that no matter what you're going through, and even if you're listening to this episode, know that everybody's here for you. The community that's even out in the outreach known as this podcast, people are out here for you, and you're not alone. And I always considered my listening audience, people listening and things, you're my family and friends out here. And I consider all of you that important. You matter as everyone else does too. And that's why we're here. Okay. So basically after the fact, we can look at this and laugh, but you got in the moment, you're adrenaline's flowing and everything else is going. All right. Anyway, so, and also you have those times of levity, humor, and laughter, right? Laughter and humor and laughter and things like that are great medicine. There's a way in which to, drop some tension and things like that in a situation where, you're up against all these things. It's a way in which to, relax, bring down the pulse rate a little bit and the heartbeat a little bit, because you got to focus and remain calm, cool, and collected, and have ice water running through your veins. Because again, it's your first time and you're trying to deal as a parent and also a grandparent. All right. So anyway, a first time mom makes everyone wash hands before. So basically here's some things. There are some articles and different things that happen, and some people, read things and get this information down or listen to someone else and things. And some people become, hyper focused on things. And so these are some different things that I've kind of read through and took down and kind of wrote about. I mean, there's way more than this, but I wanted some kind of highlighted things that people were going through, some ways in which to kind of smile and maybe even laugh and say, yeah, I've been there, right? Everyone's, to some degree does this stuff. So a first-time mom makes everyone wash hands before touching her son, then yells at a lady to do the same. Lady's afraid to stays away like forever after. Mom's instincts of protecting her kid is over-exaggerated. She's freaking out, so she's like, basically wear a body bib and then, sanitize your entire body and go through a water wash down and do all these crazy things. People get like that though. And it gets, in that situation where you're wanting the best for your kid or your grandkid, and this stuff goes, you go through it, right? So Stephanie B. Okay. So basically there is these, in Reddit, there's these different articles and things I kind of picked up on, and I got some other things here for you too. Anyway, it's ways to look at this and just go, you may have been there. Maybe you weren't there. Maybe you dealt with it. Maybe you're the same person. Maybe this is just, this is like, yeah, exactly how I thought about it. All right. Stephanie B. took her first kid in to see doctor over rash on the side of her head. Red imprint from mesh siding of baby swing caused this rash, if you will. Andrea H. thought her water broke, only to find out she peed herself False alarm. Family had to take her in. Husband's out of town. Quite embarrassing and tough to explain. As panic hits, families in the hospital. Tough one. And again, I don't proclaim to be, look, I don't proclaim to be the person, the birthing, person that gives birth, which is the mom. But you know what? I mean, going through all that and the person's out of town and everything else, just crazy kind of stuff, right? But it does happen. And like I said, these are some anecdotes that are here to lighten things up a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Oh, here we go. Family advice. That was some little stories there. I don't want to overplay this. I don't want to hit anybody over the head with anything. I just want to get this information out. But anyway, these little anecdotes about what happened, people actually went through, were freaking out, kind of hyper focused on everything. All right, so family advice. My mother-in-law told me not to wipe my baby's saliva when she's drooling, she's teething, or else she will get gassy. Wow. Okay. Awesome. If my baby grabs my hair, don't pull it out or she will bleed from her palms. Again, these are takes on families giving out, giving out advice on different situations they're going through. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to break this up a little bit. We've been running a little bit through here. I'm going to pick this right back up with family advice, but what we're going to do now is we're going to go through this process where this is episode 52 of the Arena of Ideas podcast. Pitfalls and passions of parenting and grandparenting for the first time. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I want to thank you again for the opportunity of putting this episode out. I can't believe it's 52 episodes. We're going to get right back into the meat of the family advice I was going through from Reddit. It's some crazy stuff, kids, no pun intended, about kids, right? Okay, so we're back to it now. All right, so third one now on this family advice. My family is Portuguese. Grandma told me when I found my baby's first tooth that I needed to buy him a pair of shoes or else my house would get infested with rats. She claimed it happened to her many times. Wow. Really? I kind of look at these anecdotes and things like this to My Big Fat Greek Wedding and Windex. Spraying Windex, the window cleaner on everything was the answer to everything in that movie. And so, some people have these home remedies and things that for whatever crazy reason it worked. And so now it's gospel and it's the answer, right? Exactly. Okay. So on a baby shower, predictions and advice cards, my dad wrote, "Don't be a friend, be their boss." And the reaction was, don't know why they were never close, right? Basically, the lady wrote that this is what her dad's advice for this first kid. And then she's wondering why. And then he wonders why they were never close. There you go. That's a better response and delivery to that. All right. So my dad took pride in stating, I'm 43 years. He never changed a diaper, in quotes, right? And never admitting this to his family. He wears that like a badge of courage. His recent advice for his 3-month-old son to break him like a bucking wild bronco. Also added that you better not let him run my life whenever he's crying. Dad swore he let me cry for 12 hours once. Yeah, a long time ago. A lot of the attitudes and mentality was grow a skin. You want to figure out how to swim, throw you in the river. that kind of stuff, let you figure it out, empowering you literally in real time, physically and otherwise. Some crazy ideas. I mean, look at it like this. You're going through this stuff, but I mean, this is where these perspectives from all these different angles and everything comes in, because everyone has different ideas on ways in which to come up with an answer. So when you ask someone for advice on something, you don't know what you're going to get. It could be good. It could be bad, happy, sad, positive, and otherwise. All right. Now, not to beat anyone over the head with all this, like I said, these different quips and things. It's some funny ways to kind of look at things, though. One more here. Why is your baby only wearing a onesie? The mother goes in to explain her 13-month-old was wearing a sleeveless bodysuit. It was 90 degrees outside with high humidity. This lady complained the kid was in underwear only. Usually the mom would have had the kid in 3 to 4 piece outfits, so on and so forth. But when you're dealing with weather like that, your kid's going to be uncomfortable, and what's a kid's way of expressing that? Crying and stuff. Then asked, is it okay to be wearing a onesie, right? Mom replied, put your kids in what is most comfortable. Note, every kid and parent's bond and experience will help in basically wearing apparel. But, there's a lot of people that are like, it's kind of like backseat drivers, right? You're driving along and they're like going, you missed that, you did this, you did that. They're kind of freaking out. Some people are judgy and they throw things out there. Some people keep it to themselves and express it later, right? Exactly. It just depends. It depends on who you're talking to. All right, so those were all funny, and then I also found some sayings. I just wanted just different things to look at again. If you're a parent for the first time, you saw this episode, you said, you know what, I'm expecting mother or whatever's going on, or I'm a grandparent and I'm expecting my first grandkid, and so on and so forth. And you're seeing all this, and you see this episode, let me check it out. Well, guess what? Well, that's why I came out with some funny stuff. I've got some inspirations and sayings here. I've got some other remarks and stuff for myself. And let's stop right here and just ask you out there listening, what was your take on all this and everything else? If you got things to talk about and say about this, again, Michael Kingston 723 at yahoo.com. You've also got my phone number in there to text me. I don't go through social media mania. When it comes to this, I'm on 29 platforms to listen. My focus and everything else is really your guys is out there, you guys listening, everything else, your ideas and everything else going on, and what you want out there and what's important and what needs to be out there. Because again, if you're talking about it, you're thinking it, or you're discussing it with me or something else, it needs to get out there. It's an important situation. And again, every episode's an awareness exercise that I want to matter. They're all talking about all these other things and out there in the news and all that. Well, my important thing is to talk about things that no one wants to talk about, or maybe is afraid to. I want to get those things out there because they matter, and so do you. All right, so again, I've got these inspirations and sayings. We'll throw these out there real quick. All right, so these are inspirations and sayings and ideas and words of wit and wisdom. Sleep when your baby sleeps. Housework can wait. Ask for help if you need it. Always be in the moment when you're with your baby. Excuse me. Put the phone, tablet, iPad, and whatever else you have going on down. They grow so fast. Most importantly, follow your gut. You're the parent. And holistically loved was the anonymous person that put that in there. All right. Seeing the world anew through your eyes, my firstborn has been my greatest gift. That's another one for you. With you, my firstborn, every day is a discovery of joy and wonder. Good ones. Like I said, these are good affirmations and good ways in which you can look at the positive experience of being that first-time parent and grandparent. There's pitfalls and passions, and somewhere in between all that is this inspiration here too. See, first bonus are the architects of family bonds, laying the foundation of love and unity. In the tapestry of family life, the firstborn is the thread that weaves everyone together with love. Those are good ones, man. Those sound more like Hallmark cards, right? Things that you put on a Hallmark card, but they're not. They're actually these inspirations and sayings I found along the way. Okay, the world is a brighter place because of firstborn, their smiles light up. See, those smiles light up our darkest days. That's another good one, right? Okay, so again, where do you stand with all this? You've been a parent, you've parented, 10 children or whatever is going on, or one kid or two kids or whatever you've done, or now you're a grandparent to so many, or a great-great-grandparent or whatever is going on. Your ideas and thoughts matter. You can definitely express your opinions, or if you have other ones, definitely please get a hold of this podcast. All right? So, all kidding aside, no pun intended, maybe so, the toughest job in the world, being a parent, it is, and especially the toughest job in the world is also being a mother, bearing those children. That's tough and difficult. Parenting is a tough job, man. Head on a swivel, 100 miles an hour. You're having to constantly, it's kind of like the quarterback getting to the line on a football team. You're getting to the line before the ball gets snapped. You're making about 40 some odd decisions within seconds, within minutes, who knows what. So again, giving complete props and a shout out to everybody out there who's in this process of being a parent or grandparent. Kudos to all of you. Everyone. All right. So the one up for that is the miracle of the mother's childbirth. Grandparents, it's a different transition. The perspective and optics are now remembering what was the process, changing diapers, feeding, and other tasks for the love of your life, being your kid. It's an 18-plus year contract. I've kind of come up and said that before to many people. It's an 18-plus year contract without any instruction books, policies, and procedures. As you can see, everyone has ideas, upbringings, and tried and true methods that seem to work. In the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the way to have the answer was using Windex glass cleaner on everything, right? And I kind of tipped that, I put that in the episode right there, but yes, it was. Their answer to everything was using that as a remedy, right? Kind of funny. LOL, if you will. All right. Only way to experience this is to actually be a part of this episode's content. Just remember, everyone got their start in life the same way, from the kid's perspective, right? Now let's add in that it's your first kid, both parent and grandparent. Don't hate, appreciate those going through this situation. Do not, dude. Everyone's been there to some degree. Maybe some people don't have children, but they can also still appreciate the fact that it's an amazing miracle that kids are born, and it's the people, their guardians and their parents and other people that are all there for them. And sometimes, like I said in the saying, it takes a village to raise a kid. It might, through ideas, through all the things we discuss in this episode, for sure. Okay, so now what I'm going to break into. Of course, that covered the informational part about this episode. Again, it's the episode 52, the pitfalls and passion of parenting and grandparenting for the first time. I'm going to go with some bumper music. We're going to come back and we're going to get into the comedy corner, the microphone check. And of course, remember the legends. That's what we always do. and then we'll wrap a bow on this, and we'll move on from there. All right. So anyway, basically what's going to happen is that you're hearing this right now. That's the bumper music. This is episode 52 of the Arena of Ideas podcast. Pitfalls and passion of parenting, grandparenting for the first time. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, I appreciate everyone being here. If this is your first time in listening to the podcast, I want to welcome you. And if you've come back and you're listening, and I've even got a few people out there that have listened to all the episodes and gone through them all, waiting with bated breath, hopefully, my hope inside my head, that they're waiting for the next episode of this wonderful podcast, this opportunity, I call it, between the crossroads of conversation and content, and so on and so forth of this. I appreciate all of you. Okay, and before I actually get started in the rest of this, Larry from Colorado Springs, I've talked about him. He works a regular job, but then he also goes out and he was mainly featured in that superheroes, what's your superpower episode. But really, seriously, it's just a light tease right now. I'm going to have other information for you about Larry, but he'll be having an event coming up here pretty soon. We're now jumping into September here, hard to believe, in 2024. Soon he'll be having more information for me to get out for him, dealing with the event he's about to go through. That's a little tease for him. So Larry, get me that information, and I can get that out to the people about where is it, what is it, how is it, and what they expect to see and appreciate in the process of your event. So Larry from Colorado Springs, he does some boxing. He's done boxing and wrestling and different things. And it's his passion, his love and his passion, part of it. And anyway, we're going to get that out there for him. Again, plugs, props, and shout outs. I always do them. You got a business you want plugged. You got promotion for yourself or for whatever's going on, or do you want to come on here and promote yourself? Hey, Mike's always open. Mike's an opportunity to get out there what you want in those 29 platforms all over the world. Okay, so let's dive right into the comedy corner and ring this up and maybe hopefully make someone laugh. A couple people told me that they love the this segment part of it. They love the joke part of it. Right? So, that kind of makes their day. And that's why I kind of mix this thing up and have segments and things. Matters. All right. So, what do you get crossing a bee and a sheep? Oh, wait. You're not supposed to laugh yet. I haven't even said the answer. So again, let's go back to it. What do you get crossing a bee and a sheep? A bah humbug. A bah humbug. Now it's funny. All righty. What does one man now say to the other? Oh, what did one's now man say to the other? One snowman say to the, excuse me. I'm butchering this, sorry. What did one snowman say to the other? Do you smell carrot? Why do bees hum? Because they don't know the words. I've heard that before. A magician was driving down the street. He turned into a driveway. Yes. Loving it. All righty. Oh, and just know this. You can also write in whatever dad jokes you got. I got my compiled list of dad jokes and different things that are funny that I do read. But hey, if you've got ones, guess what? Everyone gets first name credit, and thank you for everything. You know that here. Everyone gets credit for what you do because it's mattering, and it's making everybody else out there matter in every situation. And look, if you do things for this podcast, it's appreciated. It really is. And I want everybody to get out there and get the opportunity to be heard, listened to, and the ideas in this arena are out there for all of us. So again, if you've got jokes and things you want to add to the Comedy Corner, please by all means do, right? Please do. Please send them through email, send them through a text to me, or just tell me them and I'll write them down and I'll make sure you get credit for it. Maybe you don't want credit. Maybe you do. I'll just go by your first letter of your name or something. And look, it doesn't matter. I just know this, that it's all of your guys' podcasts. So that's what we're talking about here. All right. So without further ado, the next two parts, it's going to be, of course, the microphone check and then also the Remember the Legends. All right. You know what that is? That's the sounder for the microphone check. And in this one here, there's two people that, definitely, talk to me about this band called Stick Figure. There is Desmond from Pueblo, Colorado. He knows who he is. There is Joe from Colorado Springs, Colorado. He also knows who he is. They both have a love and passion for this reggae band, this modern reggae band called Stick Figure. They are just an iconoclast of that genre of music. And so again, Desmond from Pueblo, Colorado, and Joe from Colorado Springs, Colorado, thank you again for the idea on doing Stick Figure as the microphone check. I love it. Oh, and kind of giving a sidebar note, here in a couple of episodes down the road, I've got an episode out. It's going to be about Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park. That's going to be a big, huge prop. That's the episode itself, not just a microphone check. But Giovanni from Pueblo, he knows who he is. I hope you're listening because here in a couple of episodes, I'm going to be covering that subject matter about what happened to Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park. And it's got some dark edges to it and things like that, but it needs to get out there. It's an important statement anyway, not to take away from what I'm doing right now. But again, Giovanni from Pueblo, Colorado, thank you again for that idea on Chester Bennington. Plan on seeing that as a full episode, though. That had a lot of meat to it. And then if you noticed, I did Elvis Presley, and I've covered a few other things when it comes to music as an actual episode, not just a microphone check. Back to this again, Joe and Desmond, thank you again for this opportunity. I appreciate you. Stick Figure is an American reggae and dub band founded in 2005 in Duxbury, Massachusetts. They have 8 full-length albums and 1 instrumental album, all of which were written and produced by frontman and self-taught, multi-instrumentalist Scott Woodruff. A large group for live performances, right? They have a bunch of people in their band, but there's 3 main cogs to this band. K-Bong, Kevin Officer, and Amy Solomon. Looks like that. All right, I hope I don't butcher these names, all right? Johnny Cosmic, Will Phillips. For the past 3 years, they've been the most popular reggae band. Note, their catalog has sold more than 1 million copies and streamed over 3 billion times. Let that one swim around in your head for a minute. Heading out, 3 billion times. Heading out of California, seems like everyone has listened to them or knows something or knows someone that has. So basically, if you don't listen to them, everybody else that you know may be listening to them. You just don't know it yet. That's how big this band is. huge influence, and I'm trying to get in their music a little bit. I do like some of their songs and things. Being honest, okay? All right, so seems like everyone has listened to them or knows someone that has, okay? The sky's the limit for this psychedelic reggae band and experience, because it's really a reggae band and an experience. They're just kind of their own. They are their own iconoclast in this genre, and just it's more a vibe, a feel, and their music. So that's why I call it an experience. That's why I deemed it that. It has been said, like the true mark of a great band, their live performances are amazing and legendary. In fact, some people have even said their live performances, their sound quality and everything else is something better and to be experienced and had live than it is to listen to studio albums. Check their catalog. And here's some songs that I kind of listed here. Edge of the Ocean, Paradise, Sound of the Sea, Choice is Yours, Fire on the Horizon, World on Fire, and more. With a blend of the past and their brand of reggae makes Stick Figure a must-listen of all connoisseurs of music in the world over. Meaning, maybe you don't listen to reggae, maybe you just listen to rock, or you're confined to one way, but I listen to all music, all formats, all genres, all decades, eras, and so on and so forth. So yes, I've taken some of their music in. There's some other groups out there like Rebulation and some other people like them. There's Fortunate Youth. There's some other groups, but this band's a cornerstone. Like I love Led Zeppelin. They're like the cornerstone. You wouldn't have other music out there today, or you really couldn't speak of the history of music without Stick Figure. Well, you really can't. They are their own band, and you can't write the history of music without them. You can't. I say that a lot, but it's the truth. Again, so do yourself a favor. Check out the band Stick Figure. I want to give Joe and Desmond huge props and huge ups on coming up with this idea and giving me something to write about. I appreciate you. And something to read about and to get out there on this episode of this podcast. Appreciate it. All right. You know what that is? That's the sounder for anyone? Remember the legends. That is correct. That is right. That's a paparazzi with some crowd noise around it. And that is this opportunity, episode 52. Okay. So, now I was thinking about who to use for the legend. I have a bunch of people written down and things that are important, but, my brother-in-law, his name is Keith. He's from Pueblo, Colorado. He knows who he is. Keith, if you're out there, I hope you're listening to episode 52, The Pitfalls and Passions, the pitfalls and passion of parenting and grandparenting for the first time. You're kind of going through the whole process where you've raised your kids and now you're a grandparent for the first time again, too. So you kind of tie in with this episode. But Keith, again, from Pueblo, Colorado. Actually, he is originally from Arkansas. Okay, so here we go. Here's a lineage for Keith. He is from Arkansas by way of Pueblo, Colorado. There you go. So again, Keith from Arkansas by way of Pueblo, Colorado. This is your opportunity. And this episode, I'm doing Sam Walton as the Remember the Legend because your dad was working with and on the ground floor of Walmart when the whole process was going through, and basically how I learned a lot about Walmart and stuff was through Keith and through his experience being a part of the Walmart family and everything else. So I said, you know what? Why not put this episode out? Again, Keith, you know his lineage, where he's from and how he got here and where he is. But anyway, Keith, again, thank you for this inspiration on this remember the legend. I appreciate it. Maybe you get some stuff and information about what I'm about to read, Keith, and the rest of you. Again, who doesn't know Walmart and Sam's Club? Those two are main staples and fixtures of the landscape that is America, and actually all over the world beyond that. But anyway, the important thing is that this is an opportunity. Walmart is an opportunity to have reasonable pricing and have a way in which for all of us to afford things. So again, the episode's on Sam Walton. He, of course, is the founder and proprietor of both Sam's Club and Walmart. Keith, again, thank you. All right, so here we go. Samuel Moore Walton, born March 29th, 1918. He died April 5th, 1992. The founder of both Sam's Club and Walmart, was an American business magnate, considered one of the most successful entrepreneurs of the 20th century. He opened the first Walmart in Rogers, Arkansas in 1962. He believed in leadership through service and pioneered the practice of discounting merchandise by buying wholesale goods from the lowest price supplier. If he can get the lowest prices, he can then pass those on. Economy 101, pass those on to you, the customer, and the better he can get the deal is the better deal he can make for all of you. So he's able to get all these wares and now they've expanded to food and things, and they do housewares and all these other things. Pretty much you can get so much pretty much at Walmart. Basically a major part and component when it comes to brick and mortar, and that's kind of hush hush in 2024, but they still dominate in the brick and mortar and everything else. Brick and mortar is, of course, physical buildings instead of just some website or something, for those of you out there wondering. Okay, so Michael Huff, in a Forbes article, Walton's approach to building and going from one store in Rogers, Arkansas, to now with 10,500 stores, brick and mortar, in 19 countries inspires business leaders and entrepreneurs today. They should. My view is this. It's 2024 and facing AI, artificial intelligence, I call it anti-individualism, as I call it, technology and eBay and Amazon, so on and so forth, have kind of ruled and kind of overtaken things. But Walmart and the way in which they perpetuated this and going, they've kept current with going online, and again, Sam's Club and everything else too. They've gone online and they've done everything else they can do to meet the challenges and everything else when it comes to technology today, but still remain strong, tried and true with those 10,500 buildings, brick and mortar out there still, basically on the landscape. When you drive by in a town or wherever else is going on of so much population, you're going to find a Walmart there. You'll probably find it next to a McDonald's or something else. You do. They are just that important and that much a big part of the history of our country. And again, Sam Walton, the creator of all this and the curator of all this. Walmart remains a brick and mortar mainstay with online presence. That's what I'm going to tell you. Same thing with Sam's Club. Apply the same to Sam's Club. He also earned a place with business titans like John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, so on and so forth. Sam Walton is such a trailblazer in retail. Jeff Bezos is obsessed with Walmart's customer-centric approach, so much so that a lot of the things and in different ways in which they handle and conduct their business from Amazon is because Jeff Bezos was so impressed by the model and the way and the basically the signature and the approach and the customer-centered approach of what Sam Walton did. Sam Walton was also known to, let's put it this way. He would walk into this is back when he was alive. He would walk into some of his stores. He'd be walking in just whatever he happened to pull out to where whatever, he'd walk into his own places and he would just want to personally go in and check and see just how close to the vision and the mission statement and things and the promise of Walmart and customer service and how it all should be. That's what he was, and that's what he did. Sam Walton, amazing, right? So Walmart still today allows everyday people to have access to goods at a fair price with good customer service. For the most part, right? Exactly. Again, Keith from Arkansas by way of Pueblo, Colorado, I want to thank you again for getting the inspiration and idea behind the Remember the Legends. Everybody out there, I want to thank all of you for being a part of this experience in this episode or the 51 episodes that preceded this episode. It's going to keep on going because, again, it's not just one idea. It's an arena of them. I've already stated that if this is your first time listening, I want to thank you for being here. If you've been back and you're listening to all of them and you're waiting for that next episode to come out, I appreciate it. I just gave that tease for the Lincoln Park episode. That'll be a couple episodes down the road. I've got a few other ones I've already written out and already kind of constructed. I just haven't put them out yet. So please, by all means, just keep listening. Listen on the 29 places and however and wherever you listen to a podcast. You can sit there and support this podcast, of course. If you look however you're listening, if you go to the very bottom, there's a link. There's a link there. I have it set at like $3. You can help support my podcast by this means too. And it goes directly to me. And it helps me in the process of keeping this situation and this experience and this opportunity going, known as the Arena of Ideas podcast. I want everybody out there to have the best of the rest of your day and whatever is going on. And until next time,